Thank you. Good morning, Paul, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to share with you the marketing head of HR, why and how to build a strong employer brand. But before I start my presentation, maybe I would like to chat with you. Please raise your hand if you are living or working in Kowloon, New Territories, or any outlying islands. Wow, there's so many. So thanks very much because you are our customer, and thanks for giving us the chance to serve you. Okay. So maybe before I start the presentation, please allow me to introduce my company by a short video.
Electricity. It lights up our city. It lights up our lives. Electricity. You may not be aware of its existence, but it gives us a constant source of energy. It lets businesses run around the clock, and it puts the spark into a city that never sleeps. No matter who you are, where you are, and what you do, electricity is a necessity. Electricity is life. We provide a reliable supply of electricity to more than 5 million people in Hong Kong. More than a century ago, CLP began with 3 small generators to serve fewer than 200 families in Kowloon. The Kadori family became a major shareholder later. By overcoming all sorts of challenges, investing in new power plants and networks, technology and equipment, we contribute to the development of Kowloon and the New Territories, and Hong Kong's economy and prosperity. Electricity. It's our expertise. It brings you power at the flick of a switch. But behind every switch is a sophisticated transmission and distribution network, which brings the electricity generated at power stations into your business and your home. Electricity, it's our promise. It cannot be stored easily, so a high degree of precision is needed to calculate the right level of power transmission to maintain an uninterrupted power supply. Our dedicated support teams are on 24-hour standby to respond to any emergency and to make sure electricity courses through our pylons and cables at all times, lighting up our city and keeping power at our fingertips, day and night. As well as providing a safe and reliable electricity supply, we attend to customers' needs and offer them the best quality of service. We try every way we can to keep the bills lower than many metropolitan cities around the world through prudent cost control and power efficiency. Our unstinting efforts ensure that customers enjoy a world-class power supply at a reasonable price. We care for the environment. CLP's emissions have fallen by about 80% since the 90s, even though demand for electricity over the same period has grown by about 80%. Coal has been the main fuel for power generation in Hong Kong. But 20 years ago, we began investing in the development of nuclear energy and the introduction of natural gas to Hong Kong. We also introduced the use of low-sulfur coal and desulfurization equipment to further reduce emissions from electricity generation. Today's balanced fuel mix gives Hong Kong a reliable, clean and cost-efficient power supply. By organizing public education and publicity activities, we provide our customers with energy-saving information, tools and enablers. We promote energy conservation, urging people to change their lifestyles to save energy and money. At CLP, we deploy our expertise, our manpower and our connections to give a helping hand to people in need. From electricians and engineers to customer service staff, all of our 3,000 plus employees serve Hong Kong with professionalism and dedication. We are committed to serve Hong Kong and our people.
Thank you. So you will say, oh, why you gave me to look at this video? Because actually it presents very clearly the full 4 pillars of our brand. That is our power expertise, our commitment to our community, environmental protection, and excellent customer services. And these actually form part of our employer brand because we need to integrate them together. Employer brand has been a hot topic. So now I would want to carry out another very simple survey. Please raise your hand if you agree that employer brand is really important for your company. Thank you, thank you. It's good to know that most of the participants share the same view that the employer brand is very important. So we would like to know is why it is important. The latest unemployment rate of Hong Kong actually has been released, and it dropped to 3.2%. What does that mean to our HR? We know about that. The implication is the competition of talent is even more fierce. A strong employer brand can bring huge benefit to the company. This includes improving the brand awareness, getting more quality applicants, maybe talking about because the candidates, they have more confidence to the company, we are able to pay less premium to attract them to join our company. And also a higher acceptance ratio. Successfully hiring a good candidate is just the beginning of the journey. Since a strong employer brand can better communicate who we are as an employer, the company can attract applicants who share the same value and culture, who are more engaged and willing to stay on. So there was a quote from Susie, a great military strategist. He stated that if you know your enemies and know yourself well, then you will not be infuriated in 100 battles. As an HR marketer, the first thing we need to know is, who is my competitors? Engineering is CLP's core competencies. We need to attract bright engineering students for building a strong talent pool. The survey of engineering students in 2014 showed that the world's most attractive employers are all big names that you are all familiar with. Example, Google, Microsoft, BMW Group. So you can imagine the competition of talent is really tough. And we need to know what are the drivers that can increase our attractiveness as an employer. So we need to know is, what is the needs of our target candidates and employees? Because talents have many choices. With reference to the pyramid of the Maslow hierarchy of needs, it is not surprising that the finding of the Randstad Award 2015 survey showed that staff of all age groups rate salary and employee benefits, and also the pleasant working atmosphere as the top 3 most preferred employers' attributes. It is because this satisfies their physiological needs as well as the need of love and belonging. However, you can also note that there is still differences among different age groups. Young staff valued more in career progression opportunities, but staff aged between 25 to 44, which we are talking about in middle age, starting to setting up their family, they put more weight on good work-life balance. And mature employees indicate that financially healthy is more important. So you will find, yes, you have some common core type of preferred attributes, but different age group, different segments have also some different needs. HR, as a marketer, you need to be able to develop systems, policies, or even schemes that not just meet those needs of the core common need, but also the staff at different age group. So now, let's put on the marketing hat and start our employer brand journey. So, what makes a successful employer brand? First of all, a successful employer brand consists of three main components. First, we must have a well-defined employer value proposition that can clearly communicate to our target talent who we are, what we can offer as an employer. Besides, no matter how good your EVP is, do your target candidates or employee know about it? Secondly, the employer brand must align with corporate brand. Because what there is a quote in the marketing is, one may confuse the customers for a while with those gimmick or whatever, but they will eventually find out and abandon you. So if we just paint a very rosy picture, attract them in, and they find that actually reality is far short of their expectation, well, they have choice. They will go. And that actually will increase your recruitment costs as well as the interruption to your business. Of course, last and not least, well, the target candidates and also employees are actually divided into different segments. It is important to customize the employee's brand that appeal to them. It's just like some, well, as we are ladies, the cosmetic, even it is the same brand, they have different line, so as to appeal to different age group. So it is the same, talking about to our employees and also the candidates. So what CLP has done in marketing or building our employer brand? In CLP, everything builds from our value framework and safety principles. CLP has 6 values, and the one that right on the top is CLP cares for people. We committed to provide a safe, healthy, and fulfilling work environment for our employees with fair remuneration, fair management, and opportunities for learning and professional development. So this is very clear. This is our commitment. Also, we also promote the concept in terms of safety. In us, safety is in our blood. We always say that because of the type of operation, which we can say is risky. But we have a firm belief that if we put in every preventive measures, we can achieve what we call zero incident. We can do every operation, everything safely. But how can we do it? So we promote a concept of safety family. Safety means we actually, employees across all levels of the organization, must have very strong safety awareness, and also we need to care for those who are around us, including your peers, other employees, even your contractors, even third parties who may actually affected by our operation. And this is something that is non-compromised. Even in some of our safety principles, we state clearly that working safely is an employment terms and conditions. So if you do not agree with it, share with it, practice it, sorry, you are not the people that we are looking for. So we have so very clear type of value that communicated very thoroughly to our employees. They know about it, they share it, they support it, then we are able to build a very coherent workforce. Well, with our commitment, of course, we want to know is whether our message has been well communicated or recognized among the targeted candidate group. And in the Randstad Award 2015 survey, we have been recognized as one of the top 5 employers in Hong Kong for consecutive 3 years. And what you find here is that, well, they really recognized CLP, the attributes that we are able to offer to them. And what we promised to offer, there is a very high awareness among actually the general population. And when we build our employer brand, actually it starts with our corporate brand, as you find. This is talking about our Energy for Life. Our company differentiate from the other organization. I think one very important point is we have the power expertise. And the power expertise we have is able to contribute to the community in terms of providing very reliable electricity supply and environmental protection. So from that, starting from that, we are able to give a very strong commitment to those targeted engineering students, engineering professionals, that we are able to provide you with the support for your career and professional developments. We are willing to invest a lot in their training, in their development. So this is our commitment. And we actually try our very effort to well communicate it to all our potential employees, those targeted candidates, or among our workforce. So every year, you may ask is, well, how are you going to do so to practice what I just talked? So every year, we actually launch our corporate advertisement. And in the corporate advertisement, we use real-life stories and let our employees to tell their stories. In the later part, I'm going to play you with 2 videos. One is made in 2013, one is made in 2014. I would like you to pay attention to one of the actors, Mr. John. John joined our CLP as a craft apprentice, and he worked very hard. And during his training, he has been awarded as one of those outstanding craft apprentices. And in these 2 years, a series of advertisements, you may be able to look at how he grew in our company. So please.
會考其實都考得唔係咁好啦，全年都係打波啦，試過讀設計嘅，跟住都放棄咗嘅。咁後來參加咗中電嘅學徒計劃啦，揾到個人生方向。
嗰陣時咁考完啦，都好低分嘅，完全諗唔到出路嘅，好迷茫嘅真係。嗰陣時阿哥就係只入咗中電啦。如果佢嗰日唔係咁樣叫我去讀嘅話咧，咁我而家可能都唔知做緊啲咩嘅。
做呢啲咁嘅工作啦，其實咧就都係要好認真嘅，因為我哋做得唔好嘅時候，可能影響到成個系統嘅運作，甚至乎影響到用戶嘅。
喺4年嗰度咧都學到團隊合作，之前係比較懶散啲嘅，做啲嘢半途而廢，依家就會個目標開始清晰啲啦。讀咗個 High Diploma 啦，咁樣可能你可以升到去 Technician 啦，一級咁上。
咁只要肯努力啦，其實咧你即係一定有機會嘅，不斷自己去進修啊。其實咧佢都可以去到一啲好高嘅位置啊。好多時都可能只係做咗我哋老細。
導師教我呢啲技能上面嘅嘢之外咧，咁其實佢成日教我哋點樣做人咯。而家充實好多，咁我長期目標當然係繼續進修啦，希望做到一個工程師啦。
一道門閂咗，只要努力嘗試，就會發現人生可以有好多方向。
喺有電之下做嘢喎，咁我覺得哇咁犀利嘅咩？
工程師係一個好踏實嘅工作，
辛苦嘅，即係試下挑戰自己，俾個目標自己啦。
每日返工都係一個挑戰，安全咁完成工作，辛苦得嚟都值得嘅。
個發電引擎唔單止推動緊香港，亦都推動緊我。
生活就係一份熱誠。
Yeah. So if you look at John, you will find that in 2013 he joined as a craft apprentice, and then to 2014 he actually has been able to become a skilled tradesmen in what we call high voltage lifeline work, which is a very professional job. So you'll find how we practice talking about communicate our employer brand is we use real story. We are not shy of it. We put it in our corporate advertisement. We tell everybody, well, that's what our company is able to achieve, and together with the young people. Then the next one is how we actually customized our employer brand message. So we divided it into two categories. One is students and graduates. The other is experienced hire. For students and graduates, you will find that actually we, in the past few years, the competition war actually has been spread from the universities, from the post-secondary tertiary education institute, down to the secondary school. So because now there's less and less young people, and less and less of them are interested in engineering. So we even talking about work together with the VTC to design what we call applied learning for the S5 and S6 students. We actually gave a scholarship to them, so that for those really good students, then we already built our employer brand visibility among these secondary students who taking one of the elective subjects in engineering, electrical engineering and electrical and energy engineering. So they already are target. And then when they finish their study, some maybe have very good result and then further their study. The other maybe go through the VTC. So in VTC, in the university, we also have different type of scholarship so that after they get the scholarship, we arrange them to go into our company to be the intern. They know our company more. They can make an assessment where they fit with us, and we also make use of those opportunities to see whether that young people is also fitting our culture. And by that, when we every year start our recruitment of our graduate trainee, recruitment of our craft apprentice, technician trainee, then we are able to receive really good response in terms of the application. So this is how we try to compete the top-notch engineering students from the local, through the local education system. And also, we also tell the young people that, well, we offer them not just the technical skill set type of training. We offer them actually the all-round development. For example, we actually arrange them, we have a lot of sport activities, so they can actually learn the teamwork type during all those activities, leadership workshop. And also, we actually arrange them to, and also encourage them to participate in our community service, voluntary service, so that they can actually make use of some of their expertise to help, for example, the elderly, and then to pass some of those environmental knowledge to very young primary students. And also, because CLP Group has also operation and asset in Australia, in China, in India, Southeast Asia, so we actually can also offer some regional development opportunities for them to widen their exposure. This is what we are saying that the young people is looking for. So for the experienced hire, what actually we are able to offer them, first of all, is reinforce our value framework and brand promise to potential candidates. And we work closely with our recruitment partner, such as the executive search firm, to deliver what CLP can offer to the candidates. We also incorporate our value framework and brand promise to the corporate familiarization programs for our new joiners. So I think we want to, communicate very clearly to all those experienced hires that how CLP differentiate from some other organization is our commitment. Our commitment in providing them with a safe, harassment-free, and also a respectful two-way communication working environment. We are committed to provide them, to invest in them with the time and also the resources in terms of the skill training, the professional training, and also their personal development. So this is the things that we always talking about committed, and even talking about is sometimes you look at as a basic, but talking about is our commitment, non-compromise in safety, in respect the law and also regulation. Those are things that, actually we find that especially some experienced hire after working in the commercial world they find it really variable in terms of a company like us is with such a strong commitment. Lastly, you will ask, well, you have done so much, invest so much. Can you tell me what is the result you're able to get? So we really need to measure about it. First of all is, well, whenever we have a recruitment advertisement, whether we're able to attract sufficient and quality applicants. And luckily, we can. And with regard to our own employees, in terms of employee engagement level, we actually carry out the employee engagement survey regularly. And the latest one we're still talking about is statistically significant above the Hong Kong market norm. And thirdly, very fortunately is we actually, our effort and also our achievement has been well recognized externally. So we are able to get a series of awards from the external parties. So the 3 points that actually I would like you to give it to you to bring it back is, first of all, building an employer brand is a long journey. You should first be honest with what you can offer to candidates and communicate well to them. Secondly, ensure an alignment of our internal and external messages. And thirdly, is be sensitive to the expectation of your different segment of your candidates or employees. Not only HR, every member in the organization has a part to play in building an attractive employer brand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Connie. Now, I'll open that to the floor for questions to Connie about building that employer brand. Have you any questions for Connie? Let's give them another chance. Okay, Linda?
Thank you, Connie. That was obviously very interesting and insightful. I'm just sort of wondering, you obviously put a lot of effort into it, and with CLP, you have a very stable workforce. And very low attrition rate. So it seems to me, why do you go to all this effort? Because it takes a lot of time and energy. And then internally, how has that changed the level of engagement of your employee workforce with all this internal activities that you have engaged in? Thank you.
Thank you.
You're lucky, Connie. You only got 2 questions that time.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Remind me if I forget the second one. Okay, thank you, Linda, for the question. I think the first question, Linda is right that we actually have a very low, well, for other organizations, we envy turnover rate. We're talking about have a 2.7% turnover rate, voluntary turnover rate. And then you ask, well, is such a stable workforce? Why you need to put so much effort on that? I think first of all, it's because in Hong Kong, well, there are only 2 electricity utility. And amongst our workforce, around 65%, actually our engineering and technical staff. It is, well, talking about if it is not impossible, it is almost talking about is really difficult to actually find readily available staff or candidate to come in and immediately they can work. So if our HR, we have actually talking about staffing strategy, we have build, buy, and also borrow. There is no way we can buy and borrow. We can only build. And you can say, I can say to you is, talking about training up an engineer or even talking about a craft mechanics from a clean sheet to a very independent one, it takes us talking about 5 to 7 years. So then you can anticipate why we have such a long-term manpower planning. Otherwise, well, that would be a big challenge for the operation. And secondly is, well, our workforce actually reflect the demography of the Hong Kong population, which means that actually our workforce is quite aging. Is aging, and in the next 5 to 10 years, actually quite a significant percentage of our engineers and also our technical staff are going to retire. So when they retire, they bring away a lot of, those specialists, expertise. That's why you can imagine, in the 5 to 10 years' time, we are going to actually lose quite a significant of our experienced engineer, technical staff. On the other way, it takes us 5 to 7 years before we are able to really grow a very independent, competent staff. In that sort, that you can understand why we need to put so much effort in talking about building our employer brand, communicating to them, attract the top-notch engineering students to join our company. So that's the reason. That's the answer for question 1.
And then the second question was about what effects has that had on sort of engagement within the company. You mentioned that you measure engagement, one of your latter slides there. So what sort of improvements have you seen there?
Actually, I think regularly we carry out employee opinion survey. And of course, apart from just that question is, your employee engagement, we actually ask a lot of questions in different categories. And what we always compare is 2 dimensions. One, as I said, is the Hong Kong norm. The other actually is compared with the last employee opinion survey to see, how good we are. So within our own workforce, we try to actually always compare is whether for those different aspects, we are able to improve in terms of the positive response. Is every time we have an improvement. But of course, apart from we are able to get the improvement, we also have to make sure that if we compare to the Hong Kong norm at that time, we are also able to outperform the other, organizations in the market at that point of time. So we use this type of survey with somewhat objective type of Hong Kong norm to measure whether we have improved, how could we are at that point of time, and if there is some area that we find it is not really so good, we actually carry out focus group, and then we understand the root cause. We formulate, this is engineering-oriented type of a company, so we formulated action plan, implement it, going back and measure again. So this is what the type of approach we adopt to make sure that we are able to really get the measure of what we have done is something that effective.
And so looking at the most recent ones, I'm sure that generally you enhanced upon the previous ones, but in those areas like you mentioned where perhaps you're not quite keeping up with other industry players, what areas have those been that you've needed to focus on more recently?
Okay. One area is performance management. Some comment on the performance management system. I think, because I found that in the last presentation, a lot of participants are HR people, so we all know how tricky it is in talking about implementing, executing a performance management system. I think the next one is rewards and recognition, and which we always say that we always listen to it, but this is a subject bias type of questions. So most of the respondents have an inclination to put a lower positive response in terms of those subjects. So that is one of the also area that we need to look into, because as I say, we always look into, we do not actually jump to conclusion first. But then we find that actually what's the root cause. If there is a really justifiable type of concern raised from the staff, we definitely will go back and then formulate action plan to address it. Yeah.
Are there other questions for Connie? I had one or two. You mentioned about the partnership with the VTC and other universities, that you were introducing a number of scholarships there. And I wanted to ask, what kind of scholarship do you offer? How much is it? How long is it? So we can benchmark.
Okay. Okay. Actually, as I said, is in the applied learning course, we actually offer, for example, 4 scholarships for each class of those applied learning program. And when they go to the VTC, because for our company, actually our target are students studying electrical, electronic, and mechanical engineering. So I'm not talking about all VTC students. So for all these programs, we often always offer a scholarship. Either they are at the certificate level, diploma level, or even high diploma level. So we are very targeted. So high diploma in electrical engineering, for those programs, we actually provide a scholarship. And in the university, for all the universities in Hong Kong, talking about if they are talking about teaching electrical, electronic, and also mechanical, then we actually also provide a scholarship to those students. And there is one scholarship which is talking about a bit special, is we have what we call a engineering study award. So it is actually talking about is invites the application from those final year university engineering students. So they have to go through, I can tell you, it's a very challenging and tough assessment center. And then and for the very bright and brilliant one, we actually offer for this type of what we call engineering study award to 4 very bright engineering students. So you know, well, what is the award actually different from others? They actually have the award consists of 3 components. The first one is the awards amount is equivalent to the final years of tutorial fee. The second one is we assign a very senior management as the students the mentor for 1 year. And third is we actually offer a conditioned offer of graduate trainee employment to them. So that precondition is talking about making sure that their GPA is not, suddenly they know they have a job and then drop to drop to the floor. So it is, well, not to us is that should be what a student should achieve. Okay, so that means actually if they are able to get this award, they already get a job in hand. When they talking about still studying their final year. So this is what we try to identify and attract those students very early, not in a career, but very early in their student life.
Grab them before someone else does. And when you bring them on board for the internships, generally how long are those internships?
For the internship, we have, actually 2 types of internship. One is a summer intern, which is 6 to 8 weeks, and the other is actually a 12-month sandwich intern. Our past experience find that actually the students can benefit more if they take the 12-month sandwich intern, because by taking a longer period of time, then we can actually assign them with for example, more complicated projects. They are able, for some simple one, with the guidance from their mentor and also their supervisor, they are able to actually take up a project from the beginning to the end. So they can actually learn a lot. And so when they graduate and talking about getting a job, they are able to really get something very concrete to differentiate themselves with some of their other classmates. And so we always encourage the universities to be more flexible if their student, apply for a deferral of 1 year study. And we also always present the benefit of the 2 types of internship and just let them to choose. So we actually have an example is we have a student that got a scholarship. So he has the obligation to work for us as a summer intern. But during the internship, he just finds it is amazing. He can learn a lot in our organization. So in the middle, he just applied to extend. Also apply to the university and extend to become a sandwich intern, so to stay with us for 1 whole year before he go back and continue his study. So that is the type of opportunity we offer to the students, and based on that period of time, of course, we can identify whether their attitude, working attitude, their capability can suit us, so that we can, yes, identify them early and grasp them.
Thank you very much, Connie. Connie Lam, HR Director for CLP Power Hong Kong Limited. Thank you so much for sharing.